We're on the air. Pops, what time is it?
It's chomp time.
It is Chomp Time indeed. I am Mike, that is Pops. This is the Chomp Time podcast. This is episode 20, Pops, already. Episode 20, I have dubbed It's Go Time. It is simply go time. It's make it or break it. It is put up or shut up. It is separate the men from the boys. It is Georgia week, Pops. Your thoughts right off the bat.
Well, it used to be called the world's largest outdoor cocktail party, but then the woke got involved and said, we can't call that anymore. But most people still call it that. I mean, that's what it was traditionally known as, and people don't like to lose traditions, so they call it the same damn thing. It's a party. Half the field is Georgia, half the field is Florida.
Yeah, I mean, the world's largest outdoor cocktail party. Every single sporting event on the face of the planet, and especially in this country, is sponsored by alcohol.
Well, and also colleges now serve alcohol in the stadiums. So, I mean, I don't get the whole deal, though.
I don't either, but I like the fact that people are still calling it that. We are going to go over Georgia. We're going to go over Florida, and then we're going to do some predictions at the end. Let's start with Georgia. What do you got on the Georgia? I have a ton of information on the Georgia Bulldogs. Not a whole lot of individual names, but stats. What do you have for Georgia?
Well, I'm going to give you what I normally do about a university. I'll give you some information about the university.
Please.
Have any idea when it was chartered?
Oh, boy. Late 1800s. I'm going to go 1889.
You'd be wrong. It would be 1785.
What? 1785? Oh, yeah, I guess, Georgia.
But this is how Georgia works. The first 16 years, the university was chartered and was on paper only. No buildings, no students, no nothing. But they officially say 1785. It is the oldest public university in the United States.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
They have 40,000 students.
40,000, all right.
This is how old this university is. In 1863, they closed for the Civil War, and then they reopened in 1866 with 80 students.
All right. The ones that made it out of the war, I'm guessing? I don't want to be...
The state of Georgia deeded them 40,000 acres. That's 40,000 acres. The campus itself is 762 acres. So they have 39,000 acres that they still own.
Still?
The university, huh?
Still?
Yeah. Sanford Stadium has 93,000 capacity. Its mascot is
UGA.
UGA number 11 right now is the newest one, 2023. Now here's something interesting. On the premise of the stadium itself, they buried the other 9 that have passed on. The other 9 UGAs. There is one UGA that's retired. That's not there. This new one is 11, and he's 20. It was coming in 2023. But the first 9 were all buried in the stadium.
So there's been 11 UGAs.
Yeah.
9 have passed on to doggy heaven.
Yes.
But their bodies and bones remain somewhere on the premises?
Premises of the stadium, yes.
And then there's one that is retired that is, I guess, living out his golden years in Shady Acres somewhere in Athens, Georgia, waiting for his time. Does he have his plot planned already for where he's going?
Well, I'm not sure. I haven't talked to him, but here's the deal. A famous line about Georgia: "Play between the hedges." We've heard that line. That was spoken by Grantland Rice, a former sports writer, forecaster for the Atlanta Times or Atlanta Journal, whatever the hell it was.
Okay.
But Grantland Rice is a very famous writer. Anyway, some alum. Kim Basinger is an alum.
Ooh, 9.5
Kyle
weeks.
Kyle Chandler,
Who's Kyle Chandler?
Friday Night Lights. He in the TV program. He was the coach.
Okay.
Wayne Knight.
Wayne Knight, Newman.
That is
Earl
correct,
Newman.
sir. And
You know why? Hey, do you know? Do you know why Newman's usually upset? Because the mail just keeps coming and coming and never stops and never stops. Aren't mail workers the guys that go crazy and shoot up everybody?
sometimes
Sometimes. All right, go ahead.
the last famous alum, Ryan Seacrest.
Uh, quick note on Ryan Seacrest. I was a little bit upset to begin with that he was given the Wheel of Fortune job.
Yeah, I know.
Now, I've watched it a couple times. He's already very good. He's a very good television
Oh, he
announcer.
is. He is.
I'm fine with it now because I do watch Wheel of Fortune from time to time. I would like to see some other people get involved, but I now, after watching it for 6 or 7 episodes and how good he already is, I
Yeah.
understand why they did that. So go on.
Hey, did you watch any of the Dodgers New York Yankees game last night?
I did. I was very happy to see the Yankees lose.
You could see Pat Sajak in the corner
Yes.
right there.
Yes. I saw him when they were showing like a batter, and I saw him in the
Yeah,
background, and then later on in the broadcast they said, here are some celebrities that are here, and they showed him. But yeah.
yeah.
Are you
Okay,
you have
so
more with Georgia? Yeah.
yeah, so here's the deal. I got three of their better athletes, football wise. Okay, just three.
Yes.
Heinz Ward, good ball player.
Okay.
Terrell Davis, and Champ Bailey.
Yeah, so two of those were Super Bowl MVPs, if I'm not
That is
mistaken.
correct, sir. That is
And for
correct.
some reason, I'm getting balloons again for saying Super Bowl MVP. Do I get a balloon? No. All right. I'm still unsure as to what's going on with that. Let me, in rapid fire, go over a ton of Georgia stats. I've been trying to distract myself with a couple things here, obviously, but I got a ton of Georgia stats. Georgia, in 2024, they are 6-1. They are 4-1 in conference. Their head coach is Kirby Smart. Kirby Smart played defensive back at Georgia back in the day in the late 90s.
Yeah,
This is his only head coaching job of his career.
that is
He
correct.
spent, before becoming the head coach of Georgia, he was all over the place. FSU, Louisiana State. He went to the Dolphins for a year with Saban, but he spent his last 7 years as a defensive coordinator for Alabama under Nick Saban. And he was offered, in that time, he was offered the defensive coordinator job at Georgia, and he turned it down. I think he was waiting for the head coaching job, which he got in 2015. As the head coach of Georgia, Kirby Smart is 117 as a head coach at Georgia. So real quickly, from 2016 to 2024, he was 8-5, and then he reeled off 13-2, 11-3, 12-2, 8-2, 14-1 with the title, 15-0 with the title, 13-1. Probably should have been in the playoffs, but they lost a close game to Alabama in the SEC title, knocked them out of the playoffs, and then 6-1. He's got that thing rolling. And I say every single episode, it's all about recruiting, right? Well,
Yes, sir.
I went back to 2019 through 2025 and looked at his recruiting at Georgia. 2019, first in the country. 2020, first in the country. 2021, he had an off year. He was fifth in the country.
Throw him
2022,
out. Get rid of
yeah.
him.
2022, he was third in the country. 2023, he was second in the country. Last year, he was first in the country. And currently, for 2025, he's ranked fourth in the country. He's got 4 and 5-star guys all over the field. Very few of them transfer out. When he needs something, a hole that he missed on a couple of 4 or 5 stars, he goes to the portal and plugs somebody in. He's incredible. I don't even know what to say other than they do look beatable this year for whatever reason. They are in total offense. They are 41st out of 134 in the country. They're not busting down the doors there. They are 20th in total defense. So he has been a defensive coach from the get-go. His offense has caught up, but as a
Yeah.
defensive coach, it's been lights out. He's probably got, 20 defensive players in the NFL right now just from his
Yeah.
teams. So they're 41st in total offense, 20th in total defense. They allow 197 yards passing per game. They allow only 107 yards rushing per game. I don't know. It's going to be tough to beat them. Carson Beck is their quarterback. He averages 300 yards per game passing. They only average 130 yards per game rushing, Pops. That is 95th in the country, which is
Yeah.
surprising for a Georgia team because he's been
Yeah.
churning out first round picks for running backs for a while.
He does have a
So,
lot of young players right now. He's got a lot of young
yeah,
players. He's last 2 years, it's like Alabama. It's like they dominate. The first 2-3 rounds of the NFL draft between those two
right.
schools, and he has really been dominating. So again, it's not ever a rebuild for him. It's just like you said, fill in some of the pieces.
Yeah, and it's a reload. And then with the immediate transfer portal, it's easier now to plug in those holes than
Yeah,
ever before. Uh,
yeah.
their best running back is somebody we recognize the name,
Yeah.
Trevor
Is
Etienne.
is he playing?
I believe so. Was he hurt?
No, I mean, I was just hoping you would say
Oh,
no, he's
oh,
not playing.
yeah. He I think he was suspended for their first two games or their first game and a half or something.
Yeah,
He leads the
yeah,
team in rushing with 422 yards through 7 games. Is not that impressive. He does have 7 touchdowns. Once again, proving he's got a nose for the end zone like he did with Florida. They have
yeah,
3 decent receivers: Arian Smith, wide receiver Lovett, wide receiver Bell. None of
yeah.
them are setting the world on fire. So when I went into these, let's go over their scores real quick. They at Kentucky they won 13-12. At Alabama they lost 34-41. Auburn at home they won 31-13. Mississippi State at home they won 41-31. I feel like that was closer. They went to Texas and won 30-15. Kind of an interesting season for them so far. What do you
They
got?
haven't been they haven't been exactly dominant like Georgia's been
Right,
in the past, but they
right.
also had a great quarterback over the last 5-6 years for
Yeah,
the not an NFL guy, but a terrific college quarterback. And
yeah.
this year it looks like when I looked at the stats, it looks like they're just spreading things out, and there's not really a dominant player in this deal. Even ETN, it's not a dominant situation, but we'll see what happens as far as all we can hope for is our defense to play like they played the last 2-3 games. That's all we
Yeah,
can
Georgia's got
hope for.
another. Georgia's best defensive player, I believe, is just by name alone is a cross between former Georgia studs. His name is Jalen Walker. Like they used to have
Yeah,
Jalen Carter is rocking
right.
and rolling. They also had Trevon Walker, I believe, was the number 1 overall pick. So
Yeah,
Jalen Walker leads them in sacks. He's their linebacker. Look out for him. Obviously, I'm curious to see if Jaden Rashada is going to be on the sidelines. I looked him up on Google. It says he is a quarterback for Georgia. Last I heard, he was third string,
he's
but I
third
haven't
string.
seen.
Yeah,
Yeah, I haven't seen many pictures of him on the sideline. I mean, there are so many storylines for this game, Pops. Forget about the fact that we do not like each other at all. And you could say throw out the
right.
records, but ETN transferring to our major rival after being very successful at Florida,
Yeah,
Jaden Rashada with a current lawsuit against our current head coach and school.
yeah.
I mean, this is something we've never seen before.
Well, lawsuits are lawsuits. Most of them get settled. Most of them get that. They make some kind of ruling on them. I don't think it's a big deal. I really don't. I think that it's he's getting paid right now. So what's the difference? I mean, you can say whatever you want. I think this is more of his father, going after Florida for whatever reason. But it is what it is.
And
Um,
I'm not even saying he's at fault, but yeah, go ahead.
yeah, I mean, it is. Listen, the last thing I looked at this morning was we're 18 and a half point dogs. All right. Um, it's probably not a wrong number at this point, based on the fact that Georgia has kind of owned us for the last couple of years, last 3-4 years. I think the last time we beat them was who was the quarterback at Tampa Bay Reserve, second string
Trask,
quarterback.
did
Yeah,
we beat
I
him with
think I think
Trask?
Trask I think Trask beat him once. I could be wrong,
Well,
but I think
Georgia's had everyone's number the last bunch of
yeah,
years. I mean,
yeah.
they have
Well,
talent
they got two.
upon talent upon talent,
Yeah,
and they coach them up.
yeah. Well, it's unfortunate for them that the new playoff thing wasn't in effect last year, because they definitely would have made the playoff and they could have gone for three in a row. It's
Yep.
unfortunate for them, not unfortunate for us. But I mean, if we're going to be honest about it, they were as solid last year as they were any other year, other than their undefeated season.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be a fight. It's gonna be a struggle. It's the greatest venue to me that we play all year. Whereas half the stadium is Georgia, half the stadium is us. Um, Now we play one more year in 25, and then in 26 and 27 we're going to play in the Atlanta Stadium. Then we're going to play in Tampa Stadium while they redo Jacksonville Stadium. So we got this year and next year for the last real rivalry in the place that we all call, the world's largest outdoor cocktail party.
Yeah.
It should be an interesting game. I think that I'm not worried about us offensively. That is not my worry. I think that we'll see some different things. I think they're gonna, I think they're gonna roll him out a little bit more, DJ, so he's not stick back there. I think they'll roll him out a little bit more. Um, we also know that Trey is not playing, um,
Right.
and I really don't want to. I really don't want to get into that because
We don't
it's
know. We
it's
don't know.
it's not part of the game. We don't know what's going on, so we'll just leave
Yeah.
it like it is. Um, but I'm concerned about the defense. I'm always concerned about our defense, and ETN's got a chip on his shoulder. He wants
Yeah.
to bury our coach because he was always the second running back, not the first, with Montrell being the first. So there's a lot of things going on in this game, like you said. I really believe that we can keep this close. I
All right.
don't think it's going to be an 18 and a half point game. I could be definitely wrong, but I think that we're going to keep this close.
Yeah. So you saw 18 and a half. I saw 16 down from 16 and a half. I saw on CBS Sportsline the line is 16. Whatever it is, it's up there. I saw Georgia minus 16, the over under 52. So you put those numbers together. The books are saying that Georgia's going to win the game 34-18. And to me, that says that they think Georgia's going to shut us down offensively.
Yeah.
We are 34th in the country in passing yards per game, which is 263. We are
Yeah.
77th in the country in rushing yards per game at roughly about 150 yards per game. I think we have the horses. I'm not that intimidated by Georgia's stats and their numbers and their rankings. Everyone thinks they're just going to blow us out. I kind of thought that going into, you already started into Florida. Even
Yeah.
without Trey, we've got plenty of receivers.
Yes, we
Badger
do.
and DK and Mizell. And don't forget about Hayden Hansen. Don't forget about Boardingham. Don't forget about our running backs out of the backfield. Don't forget about, we got a couple other guys.
Yeah, I'm not concerned with our offense. I think that we'll put the points up against them because they're not as dominant as they've been in the past. I would surely, and don't call me Shirley, I would surely like to see a trick play here and there.
Yes.
I mean, at some point in some game, we got to see something. I would hope.
We continue to beg for trick plays, Billy. Please, just I don't even.
Yeah,
If we
yeah,
find a way, it's going to be tough. I think we're going to throw the ball a lot. I do. Montrell is questionable. I think he'll play. I think he has proven that he's a tough guy. He plays
yeah.
through pain, but he doesn't put the team in a bad spot. I think if he's good enough to play, he's going to play. But the line of scrimmage, like you say, every week is going to be huge. Our offensive line against their defensive line scares me. Their defensive line against our offensive line scares me. Now, our offensive line has been trending up. Our
They have been.
defensive line has been trending up, but we have not played the caliber of player that Georgia has. Georgia always recruits five-star offensive linemen and defensive linemen that are in the NFL. So, man, we are going to have to keep them off balance. Maybe get rid of the ball quickly at times. Maybe do everything we can to have a two-man route with a deep, and match protect. I don't know how we're going to win, Pops. I don't.
Well, they were off last week, and we were off last week.
Yes.
I think it's traditional we both take the week off before we play each other. I would, what I'd like to see a little bit different for us right now is no huddle, get up to the line, and don't look to the side. Give him the damn call in his helmet, and let's go. I would love to see us start moving and start just going and make them not change their players. A
I
lot of teams
agree.
do that to us. I'd like to see us going that way.
Well, we've been begging for tempo as well as trick
Yeah,
plays, and we don't even we're not asking for trick plays every other down, just one or two. Show us some
yeah.
creativity. But yeah, tempo seems to work the vast majority of the time, no matter what level you're on. So I will hope that we're in the hurry up and no huddle or muddle huddle and get it going and get these guys on their heels. I think we have it has been proven that Billy likes to mix up the run and the pass. He's the kind of
Yeah,
traditional 1975 quarterback and beyond that wants to throw
yeah,
for 250 yards and run for 150 yards, which is all fine and good. You do that and you have balance, you're going to win a lot of those games.
yeah.
But you got to be creative. You got to change, you got to switch it up every now and then.
Well, and here's the deal on this. Um, this is the first of the murderers row. I mean,
Yeah.
we get Texas, we get LSU, we get Ole Miss. I mean, it doesn't get any tougher for any college, any university with that schedule. This is a tempo game. Okay, to me, show me what you got. I mean, I give my hats off to the Gators. They've been playing hard. They've been playing hard. Sometimes it's the lack of talent. We just don't have enough talent as much as
Yeah.
other teams. But we've been playing awfully, awfully hard, and I think
Yeah.
that this is a tempo game for the next three after this. So
Yeah.
if the players can
Momentum.
learn and say, listen, we can, yes, momentum, good word. Thing is, if the players can learn, we can play with this team, then we can play with anybody. Okay, if we can play with Georgia, we can play with anybody. So the main thing is play smart, okay? Avoid the stupid penalty. There's going to be penalties, and that's part of the game. Just avoid the stupid penalties. Don't get caught hitting somebody, and don't get thrown out of a game. Just be smart, and let the chips fall where they may. I have this a little bit closer probably than everybody else does, but we'll see how this all kind of ends
But,
up.
yeah, before we go into predictions, Georgia's got their own little gauntlet, their own little murderer's row, if you will. They got us. You know, obviously they're a huge
Yeah,
favorite against us, but it's at a neutral site. It's a major rivalry game. Then they go to
right.
Ole Miss, and then they have Tennessee at home. That's a pretty tough stretch of three games as well.
It
So
is. It is.
going on to and like you said, play smart. One thing I will definitely say is we're at the very bottom of penalties for the SEC, meaning we don't commit a lot of penalties. That, to me, is coaching. And I will salute Billy for that. I will salute the players for that. We do not have a lot of, stupid. We have, but not a ton of them. So keep playing like that. Keep playing as hard as you've been playing.
Right.
Throw a little curveball, a little monkey wrench in there. Be it tempo, be it a trick play, be it anything. Maybe running the ball 10 straight times in a row. I don't know what the. Go ahead.
To me, they've had 2 weeks. He's had 2 weeks again to come up with a plan. We can't, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and think it's going to change.
Right.
He's got to change something. I'm hoping in the 2 weeks that we've got some new schemes.
Yeah.
We got some new plays. We got some trick plays. We're gonna have tempo. We're gonna roll out. It doesn't have to be tempo the whole game, but maybe a whole series we just do tempo and go all the way down the field.
We've exhausted what we want him to do. So let's go straight to the predictions. What do you got?
I got us for the first time this year losing 31-24.
31-24, Pop says. Okay.
It was tough. It was tough for me, but they're just too good, I think.
So you have us losing 31-24. Any predictions for any individual performances? No? What do you think TJ's going to have?
He'll have his. I believe that within. I think he'll do another 300 combined.
Really? All right.
Yeah. I do.
I had DJ Lagway throwing for 300 yards. Now that might be a little bit deceiving because I think we're going to be losing to start and we're going to end up throwing a lot. But I have DJ throwing for 300 yards. My second prediction individually is Devin Moore is going to have an interception. And it's going to be a big interception. We are without Jason Marshall. I cannot believe that I'm about to say we are going to miss Jason Marshall, Pops, but I have been convinced with film work. I have been convinced by social media, 99% of people saying that he has been lights out this year, that he must be. I very rarely see him on camera, so he must be playing well. That's usually a great sign for a cornerback. Unfortunately, he is going to be out for the rest of the year. Devin Moore is going to have to step up, and he will with a big interception. Maybe I am out of my mind recently, but I have the Florida Gators winning this game, Pops, 26-24. I don't know how. I said it earlier in this episode. I'm not sure how we're going to win, but just seeing that they're 41st in total offense, they're not a top 5 defense. Their quarterback has thrown 15 touchdowns and 8 interceptions, so he does make mistakes from time to time. We have the ultimate weapon in DJ Lagway. See what he can do? I think I have no idea how we're going to win, but I have us winning 26-24. I am Mike. That is Pops. This was the Chomp Time Podcast, episode 20, which is called It's Go Time. Can't wait to watch the game. I am off Saturday night, so I will be able to watch it. The final thing I have to say is, come on, Gators.
Get up and go. Go Gators.
Take care, everybody.